Hello again, it is I, Spooky the Lost, and as promised, I have been working on setting up a new rocket to launch. Now, I'll be doing things a little differently today because I'm experimenting with another way to play the game and record footage, one I haven't actually used in a while. And honestly, I've tried to do this a few times. There's been some minor mistakes that I need to correct, but outside of that, let's have a look at the rocket that we'll be launching today. So, start with, let's load it up because I've been experimenting and testing a few designs out. This is the lunar, AES module. This rocket launch system, by the way, can also be used to land stuff. But, first of all, I want to make one minor change to this. That's mostly due to the issue of overheating on the stuff below. So I'm going to point those outwards slightly. That shouldn't cause any issues. And I'm going to show you guys. See, I limited... Oh, didn't want to limit the gimbaling. I wanted to limit the thrust, but that proves to not be an issue on the moon. So there's that. Okay. Now, this should work. I've tested it. It does fly all the way. So, let's begin, shall we? Alrighty, now. Sorry for the jump cut there. You'll notice a slight change. I had to adjust the fairing because it was interfering with the engines on the lander. Outside of that, this rocket is pretty much the same. You can see it looks the same. I did place a McJeb module on it for the simple fact that I found it useful to actually have the readings on it for better orbital mechanics and landing purposes, although that won't come into account once I'm landing on the moon. You're going to see my skill here later. So, without further ado, let's skip and continue. Now, as you can see here, what I ended up doing was using the prograde marker to turn over and do a proper gravity turn with very little effort. I'm very glad the new Kerbal Space Program 1.0 series allowed for that. That was something that was a brilliant idea to add. I'm really appreciative for it. As you can see here, we are going to release the fairing in 3, 2, you can see I'm looking here, just kind of previewing the vessel. In just a moment, we'll be releasing the fairing and firing the device. There I am trying to find the space to click and release. And there you can see the lander module. Now it is in a high enough orbit that it won't be damaged by anything. And our next move after circularizing, as you can see we are doing here, is to begin the orbital transfer to the moon. And as you can see here, I have already worked out the orbits, the circularization, everything, and we are about to begin our circularization burn in 3, 2, 1. Beginning burn now. Well, now. Most of this I'm recording is post-commentary, so if there's any delay, there's that. But mostly there we go. Mostly though I'm recording this in real time, watching the footage as I record so you can hear my voice more easily. There we go, the rocket continues to move. And as you can see, I'm double checking the orbits to make sure everything's lined up. And from here on out, we reach the moon. I'll be right back with you once we reach a lunar orbit. As you can see here, I'm beginning my descent down to the surface of the moon and adjusting my vector to slow myself down. This does take quite some time. In fact, it takes several minutes, so I will speed it up for you guys to watch. Now what I ended up doing here was actually putting the descent and everything into 16 times acceleration of the footage due to its extreme length and the slow gravity causing the descent to be very long and tedious. So rather than having you guys sit through all that, I went ahead and made it faster. So as you can see here, we're on our final descent vector as we lower ourselves to land right next to the surface mounted pod. Now with all the goodness that comes with that, it also took me a lot of practice to kind of finagle it just a little bit closer. And I was pretty close, as you can see here. In fact, I'm about 20 meters, 18 meters, slowly increasing towards it. And that's the thing, you gotta kind of hover as the ground drifts around you until you get to your landing spot, and once you do, the nice trick about this is there's plenty of fuel in it, so left over, although I should have added more thrust when launching, I ended up, well, having the thing kind of tilt over and launch off, where it proceeded to kind of drift around off in the distance for a good 15 to 18 minutes or so. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of checking on it while it was moving, so I was stuck watching. I won't put you guys through that, but as you can see here, this is the footage. This is the vehicle landed. This will be the new HAB pod, since I'm missing one. It had a bit of a glitch I had to correct. So this is the second module, third episode. Hopefully this was informative for you guys. This has been Spooky Zalost, signing off.